I did everything that I was supposed to do. I was a good student. I scored very good marks when I was in school. I did my MBA. I was drawing a good salary. I was climbing the corporate ladder. And my friends were happy. My family was happy because I was achieving everything that normal people were not achieving at that time. At the age of 26, I had my own house in New Delhi and I was doing really well. I had the greatest boss. I was traveling around the world. But somehow, besides everything being so good, I was I was not doing well from inside. There was something which was very small but very, very important. And that was, I was miserable. How did I know that I was miserable? Because every morning when my alarm clock would go at 6:30 a.m., I would feel this shooting pain inside me going from up and down, and that pain would be there when I would be brushing my teeth, when I would be getting ready, when I would be driving to my office, when I would be punching my employer ID card, or when I would be presenting or working with my clients. That pain would not subside. The pain got so bad that at times I would have these I would have migraine for weeks. I was feeling the pain of being stuck. I was feeling that, throughout my career, I tried to climb the corporate ladder. And once I was almost there, I realized that this is not the place I want to be. This is not what makes me happy. I was stuck. I was stuck in my comfort zone. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. At that time, I was also suffering from FOMO, and I would keep looking at the timelines of my friends. I would keep looking and comparing myself with them. So there would be a friend of mine who was doing his double MBA, and I would say, yeah, he's gone to Columbia, maybe I can try and do second MBA. Then there was this guy who started teaching in a management institute. Yeah, maybe I can try teaching. And then there would be some other person who had become a chef after quitting his finance career. And I would say, yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I too can become a chef. Although it's a different story that I can't cook to save my life and I'm lousy with business. So when I was meeting all these guys, and there was this one particular guy who really, really made me envious, Ganesh. He was a IIT, IIM pass out. He had married his childhood sweetheart, and he was heading the department of one of the biggest IT companies in the world. He had a loving family. He had three secretaries, not one, not two, but three secretaries to manage his work. He was traveling all around the world, jet setting, and he would be going on and he would be going on holidays to these beautiful destinations, posting pictures from Iceland, from Arizona, from Antarctica, and God knows which all places he was going to. I would look at his pictures and I would get depressed. I would say, God, look at this guy. He's figured it all. He's got the best family, he's got the best job, he's enjoying his life. And look at me. Here I am sulking, looking at his pictures. I cannot achieve anything. I can't do. My life is a gone case. I can't even get a decent date. So, when I was going through all these motions, it was that time, when I started meeting other people who were on the verge of breakdown like I was. And after meeting them, I realized that, the only way to turn this breakdown into a breakthrough and come out of your comfort zone is when you win over your fears, and that can only happen when you have a solid dream and you have a solid plan to achieve that dream. Because what happens is, I can vouch for it that everyone who's sitting here or watching this right now, all of us will have big dreams, and all those dreams have a potential to become big. But what makes doers different from just thinkers is that they have an action plan. When you put a date to your big dream, it becomes your goal. And when you break that goal into small steps, it becomes a plan. And when you put action to that plan, that is when you are able to achieve your dreams. So I'm going to share 5 lessons which I learned in my journey, which any of you who is stuck in a comfort zone or feel that you're not able to get out of it, these are very practical tips which you can use in your life. Number one, you have to surround yourself with the people who believe in the power of dreams. People who believe that what you're going to achieve, that you can easily do it. So what happens is there are going to be a lot of people who are going to pull you down. There was, in fact, a study done by Gallup which said that 85% of the people are really unhappy in their jobs, and they would not leave a stone unturned to pull you down. And so when I was working, in a corporate sector, so I would have these frustrating moments. And when I'll go back home, I'll tell my friend, listen, I want to quit my job. I want to travel around the world. I want to click pictures. I want to learn filmmaking. I basically wanted to live the life of Bunny in Ye Jawani Hai Diwani. And I saw myself in that. And my friends would take a sip of the drink or whatever she was drinking. She'd look at me and say, by the way, is your name by any chance has surname Ambani or Tata's? And there, I would that would give me the reality check, and I will again go back into my hole and start again thinking, what can I do? What can I do? So this zinc was broken when I attended a conference called TEDx. TEDx is the world's largest travel bloggers conference. So there I met people who had taken this journey which I was just about to begin on. I met people like Shane Dallas, Mike Shubik, Rick Calvert. There were a lot of these people who gave me a lot of push which I was lacking at that time, gave me a lot of confidence. They said that you can do it. All you have to do is just start. And when I came back, I was all pumped up. I said, yes, I have found the big calling and this is what I'm going to do. So I called up my best friend, Shalini, at that time, and I told her, Shalini, I finally figured it out. Travel is the thing that I want to do, and I'm going to take the leap of the faith and all that. She heard me patiently, and then she said, but you know what? The first thing that you have to do is you have to speak to your boss. You have to put in your papers. I said, yeah, valid point. I'm going to do that tomorrow itself. Next day, before I go to my office, I get a message. It's from Shalini. It says, don't forget to speak to your boss today. Okay, I go there, I get busy with the work, and at the lunchtime, again, I get a message from her. Did you speak to your boss? No, I haven't. In the evening, I again got a message, and she was incessantly messaging me. I would get beep, beep, beep all the time, whether I was presenting or, I was doing something. I got so fed up one day that I actually went and spoke to my boss. So why am I telling you this story? Well, I'm telling you this, when you surround yourself with believers, then what happens is you put accountability on your shoulders. And once you put accountability on your shoulders, that is when you get really serious about your big objective that you want to achieve in life. Now, moving on, once you've surrounded yourself with believers, then what you have to do is you have to just start. You don't have to wait. You really don't have to wait that one day you're going to get this eureka moment and, you'll have everything perfect. No. Everything starts small. Nobody has become a successful business person on the day one. Success needs preparation. It needs a lot of hard work day in and out. Sarah Blakely, the founder of the brand Spanx, in 1998, she was getting ready for a party. And she wanted to wear this beautiful white pants. But then she realized that she doesn't have the right undergarment to go with those pants. So what she did was she cut the feet part of her pantyhose and wore it. And thus the idea was born that, all these brands, nobody is thinking about this need of the women. When she was a salesperson, she didn't have an MBA degree, and she was definitely not in this industry at all. But she came up with this idea that there is maybe a demand for this. She went ahead and presented this idea to a lot of people. A lot of people laughed at her, but she did not give it up. And today, Her brand is one of the biggest brands in intimate apparel segment. It's there in 50 countries. She was the youngest self-made billionaire as per the Forbes magazine in 2012. She was amongst the top 100 most influential people in the world as per Times magazine. So, what lesson do we get it from here? That the most important thing in life is to start. Don't wait for the perfect moment to come. If you break your bigger goals into small steps, your brain works in a much better way than trying to get everything done at the same time. So, moving on to the third point, which is, once you have surrounded yourself with believers and once you have started working on your big idea, don't give up on trying something new, because what happens is when you keep trying something new, you widen your horizon. You don't get stuck in the comfort zone. Because it's very easy to go back what you were doing earlier, what you're comfortable with. But when you try something new, you are expanding your boundaries. Let me ask you a question. Why is it that when you go out of the country, you need to have the same food? Why is it that you can't try out the local food out there? Or why is it, that when you come to Delhi and you visit Chandni Chowk, you have to go and eat at Daulat Ram Chaat? Why can't you try something else? Uh, and it is not just related to food. Why do you have to wear the similar kind of clothes, listen to the same music, read the same authors, watch the same genre movies? It's good to have your favorites, but it's much better to have choices in life and to try out something new, because then you know what you're good at. If you know what you're good at, you can keep working on it, and then you can focus on it and you can improvise on that. Now, coming on to number 4 point, which I cannot tell you how important it is, that you have to hustle till you achieve your dreams. You have to hustle with intention. You have to hustle with a lot of passion. When I was in the corporate job, I would get this thing, God, why do I have to work on a weekend? Why do I have to work of the office hours? But now, when I am on my own, I work 24 hours a day to 365 days. There's no concept of weekend or holiday in my life. So is it like somebody is pushing me? No, I am loving it. That's why I'm doing it. And why would you automate something that you love, that you're passionate about? Today, being an entrepreneur, I have to do a lot of things on my own. There are a lot of roles which I play. So someday, or rather multiple roles I have to play in a singular day. So I have to be the creative director, I have to be the filmmaker, I have to be the finance head, I need to be the business development person, I need to be this digital marketer, I need to be even chaprasi. There are a lot of times like you have to play so many roles. So why do I do it? I do it because I love it. It's not somebody is pushing me or forcing me. So what happens is, a lot of times people would come to me and they say, we really love what you're doing. We do want to quit our job and travel like you. I tell them, no, please don't do that. That's not my advice. I would never recommend you. In fact, my job played a very big role before I quit. Firstly, when I was leaving the job, I knew that, the initial phase is going to be a phase of struggle. I really need to work hard. So my job helped me save that finance for later. Secondly, it was actually training me to be my own boss. All the training that I got, whether it was marketing or convincing the other person, the sales, everything, all that I got from my job. Had that job not been there, I would have not been in this position. I would have not been able to differentiate myself from the rest of the people in my industry. Now, coming to the last but the most important point is, when you start something new or when you want to achieve big in life, remember, do not compare yourself with others. Rather, do meaningful work. I believe that, we are a we generation. We are not a me generation. Everyone who's listening to this, I can definitely say that if they were given a choice between choosing a career which would give them loads of money versus a career where they would get decent amount of money, but they will also be able to influence someone's life in a positive way, I'm sure they're going to choose the second part. Because, there are so many people who are doing it, but when you do something meaningful, it remains with you, and people join you and they come with you. And I'll give you an example. When I was starting in 2017, 2018, that time I was very small. Even now I'm not too big, but that time I had to work as per the brand's choice, what was the brief. But today I can actually convince them why what I'm doing is right. For example, there was this brand called Panasonic Lumix. So I started working with them in 2018 for an activation where there were 70 more different people. I was just one among the so many people out there. So I kept in touch with them and kept creating content, on regular basis, which was little different, which had a backing of three social pillars, which I would call them. One was for the women empowerment, second was environment, and third was working towards underprivileged. When they saw my work, they said, hey, we want to work with you on a long term basis. And this year when I went to Munsiari and created a film on the stories of the women, they loved the film so much that they actually bought it from me and ran it on Women's Day as their official campaign. And now all the films that I'm doing, like whether it is for the Ladakh, where I'm talking about the climate change, they are sponsoring it. So the benefit is, first is there's a big brand who supports your idea, and then secondly, there is this big platform that you get. So, when you have known what is your big dream, what you want to do, you have to ask three things to yourself. One is, why are you doing this? The why is very, very important for you to define. And number two, what you are going to do which is different from the rest of the people. And third is, how will you do it? Once you have answered these questions, I believe, in a nutshell, if you start taking these 5 steps today, if you start finding believers, if you start small but you start today, and you keep trying out something new every day, and you keep hustling until you achieve, and above all, keep doing meaningful work, there is no way in the world that you will not change your life, you will not change others' life, and probably, who knows, you can change the life of the world. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't have people like Shalini, like Shane, Mike, and all the people who believed in me. I want to leave you with one question. That question was there when I left my job, when I was starting small, when I approached the brand for the first time, when I jumped off a cliff, when I was coming for this presentation. In fact, 15 minutes back, before I joined this presentation, that time also I had this question. So always ask yourself, do you want to lead this life being stuck in your comfort zone, or do you want to achieve big goals in your life? If you want to achieve big goals in your life, then you should start small. You should start today. That's all. Thank you.